There is one person standing between you and the life you keep dreaming about. It isn't your past. It isn't your circumstances. Go look in the mirror. That's the person. We spend years blaming timing, luck, or opportunity. But underneath all those excuses is one quiet question we rarely ask ourselves. Do I actually believe I can do this? Most people aren't lazy. They're waiting until they feel ready, waiting until they're more confident, waiting until someone finally notices them. It feels responsible. It feels patient. But sometimes waiting is just fear wearing a nicer outfit. Here's the dangerous part. The longer you wait, the more your brain starts believing that waiting is progress. It isn't. Comfort has a strange way of convincing you that tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow usually looks exactly like today, unless you do. Nothing changes while you're standing still. Confidence isn't built before the first step. Confidence is the reward for taking it. The biggest wall you'll ever face isn't outside of you. It's the one built from your own thoughts, brick by brick, excuse by excuse. And here's something almost nobody realizes. You don't destroy self-doubt all at once. You remove it one small action at a time. The first uncomfortable step won't change your life overnight, but it changes something even more important, your identity. Because every time you move despite fear, you become someone who believes in yourself just a little more. Momentum doesn't arrive one morning like motivation. It begins with one choice, one uncomfortable step that nobody applauds. The people you admire didn't wake up fearless. They simply stopped waiting for fear to disappear. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes evidence that you're becoming someone you can trust. Success rarely comes from one massive leap. It comes from tiny actions repeated until they become part of who you are. Momentum works like a snowball. The beginning feels painfully slow. Then one day it becomes impossible to stop. The highest performers aren't waiting for permission, they aren't waiting for support, and they definitely aren't waiting for the perfect time. They removed the exit. No backup identity, no endless excuses, just a decision that failure wasn't an excuse to quit. Once there's nowhere left to run, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with your own potential. You finally understand something most people never do. The greatest investment isn't in a business, a degree, or a market. It's in yourself. Because when you truly believe you're worth betting on, the world starts responding to a completely different version of you. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes receipt, proof that you can trust the person staring back at you. That's how self-belief is built. Not from positive thinking, but from positive evidence. Most people are still waiting for confidence before they act. By then, you've already taken 100 small steps they never did. Think of self-belief like a plant. Ignore it and it slowly dies. Water it every day with action, and eventually it grows stronger than your fear. One decision doesn't change your life, but thousands of tiny decisions quietly create a completely different person. And one day you'll realize something incredible. You aren't climbing because you finally believe in yourself. You believe in yourself because you never stopped climbing. Every excuse you leave behind creates space for a stronger identity to grow. That's the version of you your future has been waiting for. Remember the mirror from the beginning? The person standing there was never your enemy. They were simply waiting for you to finally trust them. The day you stop believing in yourself is the day you're done, not because the world stopped giving opportunities, but because you stopped showing up for the only person who could seize them. So stop waiting. Bet on yourself every single day. If you're done waiting for the world to hand you your life and you're ready to become the person who creates it instead, subscribe to Quiet Alignment. This is the 1%. This is soul work.